back-to-back. This is something that the Pacers last accomplished in 2013, 2014, and also 1999 and 2000. Sorry about my fans. Probably couldn't even hear them. Anyway, last time that they accomplished this, they went to the ECF 2 times against the Heat, lost both. Time before that, they went to the ECF 2 times, won one of them, went to the championship, and got beaten 5 by the Lakers. Right? There's something different about this group, and that's really what I want to come on here and talk about. It was called a fluke last year, and this year there's still people I know doubting, and let me explain why you shouldn't doubt. This team, this one, yeah, that one where there's 5 guys and one of them is Bruce Brown. What the hell, where's Bruce Brown, right, Luke? Right, but the other 4 guys are still there. That's 2023 inaugural in-season tournament, meaning that's the beginning of last year. You notice how those core guys are still on the team? Well, guess what? Those core guys were on the team the year prior outside of Obi. You had Miles, Benedict, Tyrese, Matt, Nembhard, and McConnell. So the pieces that have been together for the Pacers, getting gradually better, is something I've called for a while. Complementary basketball and the communication that it takes with a team that has developed together is always going to win you games, especially when those guys are as talented as them. Now look, that's covering up Hallie's face. There's Hallie. Look, on the topic of Hallie, 31 in a closeout game is much needed. When a guy needs to step up, he steps up. First 30-point performance of the playoffs for a Pacer player. Meaning, they had 7 wins in the playoffs without a guy tallying 30 or more points. And you could be like, well, that doesn't sound great, but it's amazing. What it shows is how great this team truly is as a team. This team proved me wrong. Beginning of the year, I said we'll make the second round again, but I don't see us making the ECF again. It's such a hard feat to make back-to-back ECFs. I don't see it happening. But as soon as we went on our little crazy January to playoff thing, I said, hey, we're going to go to the ECF against the Celtics, and we're probably going to lose in about 6 or 7. Now, that's a little different. We'll see who the matchup is. It's most likely the Knicks, but we'll get you that prediction later. What I really want to talk about, though, is how much this team has improved. This team went from a team who's just run and gun, shoot threes, dunk on you, just play grade O, and just play meaningful stop defense, to a team that instead of winning in 6 and winning in 7 has 1-5 and 1-5. Why? Because their defense is meaningful at every time of the game. They're playing defense from the beginning. For example, game 4 with the steal that led to a Halliburton dunk to start the game at home was a perfect example of how the Pacers play defense at every time of the game. This is a team to be scared of. This is a team that is a monster in the East, a sleeping monster that only now people are seeing was resting. And here they come now into the next series with all momentum on their side. This is the best Pacer team put on a court since that 2000 year that made the championship. Yes, it's better than the PG Pacers because as much as those hung their hat on the defense, on offense, it was only a few guys. It wasn't everybody. At times it was, but not every game. Every game, 6 to 7 guys in double figures. And lastly, before I go, shout out Rick Carlisle. I talked a lot of crap about you, but his coaching has been superb. Great switches. Good job switching 3 bodies onto Donovan with Nembhard, Shepard, and McConnell. Sometimes even throwing Nesmith at him. Look for that to happen against Brunson and the Knicks. That's the only thing I'll say about that is that's probably what the rotation will be on a guy of that caliber, right? They're going to have to work on the fouling. Truthfully, there's phantom fouls. We're going to play the Knicks. If that happens, there's going to be phantom fouls too. Again, don't want to get too much into that, but Pacers are going to have to run an uphill battle. They've been running uphill since the playoffs started. Things happen. So it'll be fun. Glad the team made it back to the ECF. The only other team who's probably going back to a conference final is the Timberwolves. So put some respect on Indy and put some respect on Minnesota too. Thank you guys for watching. Affleck Time is out.